How to design a fintech startup app that users actually trust and keep using. Users don't consciously decide to trust a financial app. They feel it, or they don't. And when they don't, they leave. For fintech startups competing against established banks and mature platforms, that's not just a retention problem. It's an existential one. At Humbleteam, we've worked with fintech startups at every stage of growth, from YC-backed founders building their first product to funded startups scaling past Series A and B. Our fintech portfolio includes Oxygen, YCW22, Deserve, $544 million raised, Abra, IPO, and DailyPay, a $1B plus unicorn, as well as global institutions like Raiffeisen, ING, and Societe Generale. Here's what we've learned about how trust actually gets built in a fintech startup product. Fintech startups lose users in the first 3 minutes. Most fintech startup products lose users before they've seen any real value. Onboarding is where trust is either established or broken. And most fintech onboarding is designed around compliance requirements, not user confidence. The best fintech UX/UI design for startups treats onboarding as a trust-building sequence, not a data collection exercise. That means explaining why each piece of information is needed, showing clear progress, and making every step feel like it was designed for a real person, not a regulatory checklist. For a seed or Series A fintech startup, fixing onboarding drop-off is often the highest leverage design investment you can make. Visual consistency signals that a startup is serious. A polished landing page that leads to an inconsistent app experience sends a clear signal to users. This product wasn't built with the same level of care throughout. For a fintech startup asking users to connect their bank account or make a first transfer, that inconsistency creates doubt at exactly the wrong moment. When Humbleteam builds design systems for fintech startups, visual and interaction consistency across every screen, including error states, empty states, and edge cases, is treated as a trust requirement, not a Polish detail. The funded startups that get this right convert better, retain longer, and look more credible to both users and investors. Error states are a trust moment, not an afterthought. Nothing erodes confidence in a fintech startup app faster than a confusing error message at a high-stakes moment. A failed payment, a declined transaction, a verification issue. These are the moments users remember. A clear, calm, actionable error state keeps users in the product. A vague or alarming one sends them straight to a competitor. At Humbleteam, every error state is treated as a product design moment. What does the user need to know? What can they do next? How do we keep them confident that the product is working for them even when something has gone wrong? For fintech startups, getting this right is the difference between a user who churns and one who stays. Compliance UX doesn't have to feel like compliance. Regulatory requirements in fintech are non-negotiable, but they don't have to dominate the user experience. Consent screens, risk disclosures, and KYC flows can be designed to feel respectful and transparent, not like a wall of legal text standing between the user and the product they came for. The fintech startups that handle this best treat compliance UX as a design challenge, not a legal department deliverable. That distinction shows in the product and in the activation rates. Data density without overwhelming your users. Fintech startup products often need to surface a lot of information: balances, transaction histories, rates, risk indicators, portfolio performance. The UX/UI challenge is making complex data readable and actionable without overwhelming users, especially those who aren't financially sophisticated. This is where the depth of a specialist product design partner matters. Humbleteam has designed financial dashboards, investment platforms, and lending products for funded startups, where information architecture and data visualization are central to whether the product actually works for its users and whether those users come back. For fintech startups that need a product design agency with real experience shipping financial products, from first onboarding screen to scaled design system, We're happy to talk.